The Brown Act, members of the public are encouraged to attend the board meeting and to address the board concerning any item on the agenda or within the board's jurisdiction. In order to conduct district business in an orderly and efficient manner, the board requires that the public presentations of the board comply with the board bylaw 9323, including the following. Members of the public wishing to address the board must complete a request to address the board card prior to the meeting and give it to the board secretary. The board president will recognize each person who has requested to address the board at the proper time and invite them to speak from the podium. The speakers must announce their name prior to addressing the board. All comments are limited to 3 minutes per person or 20 minutes per item. And that's when we're doing the 2 minutes today. And the Ralph M. Brown Act limits the board of trustees and staff to respond to any comments that are not on the agenda.
SWB audio capture, not registered.
Past weeks. I speak before you, worried that a small minority of misinformed individuals without malice could devastate our school. But I understand that as of right now, there's a lot of misinformation floating around. So I would like to speak on behalf of the multiple students who have come here to testify for the character of the teachers who you have intended to punish, and talk to you about how I've come to know them. Now, the teachers in question, I know, aren't known personally by many parents, but they are known personally by oh so many students. They provide genuine care for the students that goes beyond the classroom, creating a nurturing and supportive environment where students feel valued and inspired to succeed. Their commitment to understanding each student's unique needs and challenges allows them to tailor their teaching methods, ensuring every student receives the necessary support to thrive academically and emotionally. Thanks to either one of these teachers, both Sadie's and Homecoming, alongside Prom, have been equipped with a permanent chaperone, a charity not many teachers give, something that ASB is eternally grateful for. Alongside that, one of the teachers helps facilitate our school's 9-time program, which I know our school boasts a lot about our Western culture and the horse riding that oh so many people here enjoy. But the 9-time program is especially special because it is a glimpse to campus culture to many freshmen. It is their first impact. And I could not think of a better teacher to communicate feelings of care and community to oh so many people and oh so effectively. I would like to also mention that these teachers have some sort of atmosphere that they bring to their classrooms and they bring to their school that radiates and it is felt by their students. I can't name another teacher who could do what they accomplished, which is to get over 100 high school students to participate in a weekly book club this year. 100 high school students reading every week. And they skipped their lunch to do it. And these aren't just books like Green Eggs and Ham. These are real topics that have set up us, the students, to write college applications that stick out, that give this small town the chance it deserves to succeed when put up against big city kids applying to the same colleges. It allowed us, all these students that I see, to shine as the diamonds in the rough that they are. So, I speak to you today because I too care for our campus. I too care for our school. And I'm so thankful that we have a board that wants to hold our teachers to the highest standard possible. And I would like to testify on behalf of ASB and behalf of the dozens of students that I've talked to that no other teachers are of higher standard than both of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have Gabriella, and I can't quite read your last name. Gabriella. Hi. Okay, show. Thank you.
You can say names, just if you have something derogatory.
If you have something derogatory. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the board, administrators, parents and guardians, community members, and guests. My name is Gabriella Cascio, and I'm an incoming senior at Valley Center High School, and I'm currently the vice president of the Associated Student Body. I have also been nominated and currently serve on Principal Little School Culture Committee. I'm here today to discuss the positive impact that both Mr. Andrew Kordick and Ms. Jenna Wilson have had on my development as a student and leader. During my entire junior year, I was in Mr. Kordick's Advanced Placement U.S. History class, and I was in Ms. Wilson's Leadership class. In that capacity, I have gotten to know them both well. Each of them have made valuable contributions to the school as a whole and to me personally and professionally. Mr. Kordick recently earned the honor of Outstanding Teachers of America Award. He has taught me to be a critical thinker, to think outside the box, and to fight for what I believe, which is why I'm here today. As the head of leadership, Ms. Wilson has taught me to be organized, pursue my passions, and lead others with strength. Both of these teachers have each had a great impact on shaping the student I have become. It is because of both of what these teachers have taught me that I decided to run for ASB president and have the courage to stand before you today to speak before this board. Mr. Kordick and Ms. Wilson have had one of the greatest impacts on me personally in developing me as a successful student in all my high school years, and I know many of my fellow students share the sentiment. In my experience, neither of them have behaved in an unprofessional manner. I find the defamatory comments being made by members of the community about Mr. Kordick to be wildly immature, irresponsible, and reckless. Building personal rapport with students is key in investing in the student-teacher relationship. However, if this board finds that either of them have displayed any error in judgment in this realm, I ask and pray that this board have grace and mercy to take into account human nature and the value that these teachers have brought to the school, student body, and community as a whole. It would be a great disservice to the school, students, and community if either of these teachers were not allowed to continue impacting the students in such a positive and powerful way. Furthermore, school leadership, spirit, organization in ASB would be gravely impacted. I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. It's Mary, and I can't quite read the, is it Conan's?
Gaines.
Oh, Gain, oh, see that as a G, it looked like a C. Right there. Yes, 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 thank you.
Good afternoon. My name's Mary Gaines. I've been a member of, I've lived in Valley Center since 1989. When I moved here, my daughter was in 4th grade. After 8th grade, I pulled her out of Valley Center schools because they would not address her needs or mine as a single parent in knowing ahead of time what classes she was taking and what homework she had. When I heard about what's happening here, I was in shock. I was a public defender in Vista for 33 years. If someone steals a tube of lipstick, we don't send them to prison. What I've heard suggested here is that the board may take some very serious action against these two people, including excising money from them, which they justly earned, and I think that would be a grave overreach. This is basically an HR issue and should be handled. I read that the principal had talked to them about it. I would just suggest this to you, that in our day of social media if the board overreaches in punishing these two teachers, we will probably lose two fine teachers to other districts down the hill and have a hard time obtaining reputable, good teachers for Valley Center. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Lizzie Lachey? What is it? Oh, that's okay. Kishi, sorry about that.
Hello. I was in Mr. Kordick's third period class when all of this happened. They didn't say anything sexual regarding anything about their relationship. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Jim Nielsen.
Wow, being an old guy, listening to these young kids talk, it gives you great feeling for the future, doesn't it? I mean, doesn't it make you feel good that these kids come up and talk the way they're talking? This is a
Yes.
district that's getting things done. So let's be sure we realize what needs to be done. And I'm going to say something off the cuff. Why am I up here? I taught for 38 years, basketball coach, and I also was a government teacher. Let's make sure we get this right. This is something that we have to get right. And Mr. Kordick and Miss Wilson are your employees. And each of them deserves your support, not just for excellence and national recognition they have brought to the district, but because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to support these guys. That's what we do. If you do not stand up to bullying or innuendos, they will perpetuate and grow. The district and community have too much to lose by allowing social media and gossipers to create a witch hunt. Okay? Also, give me a second here. The Board of Education and district have a responsibility to maintain and preserve the good reputation of the Valley Center School District. Failure to address reckless and unfounded rumors, newspaper articles that are salacious, gossips on social media, harassing questions from students and people may have compromised Valley Center's good reputation. But I think it's worth getting back. I think what can happen if the board says, look, we've got these two great teachers, not good teachers, but great teachers, okay? I was 7 times Coach of the Year. I know what a good teacher and coach is. He is a great teacher. I can just tell you that. I hope you do the right thing, board. Thank you.
Thank you. Tina Nielsen.
Oh, here we go. Not quite as tall as my husband. I'll put that down. I'm Tina Nielsen. I was an educator for 30-some years, principal, and I now am currently a consultant for Los Angeles and Orange County Departments of Education. Good evening, board, superintendent, administrators. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm here to support Ms. Wilson. She's the ASB teacher and advisor. She has created many new and exciting opportunities for students to participate in Valley Center High School community through ASB. She has substantially increased student participation over the last year, including the culture and climate of this school. ASB has become the foundation for the school's community. Ms. Wilson has coached both basketball and softball. As coach, she models commitment and integrity. She promotes hard work as the avenue towards success. Student athletes are examples of students realizing their potential through hard work and her guidance. Ms. Wilson is also a leader in the San Diego County Office of Education in the new teacher induction program, which, for those people that don't understand ed speak, that means new teachers that are coming in, she's helping them learn how to manage their classrooms, manage their curriculums, set up instructional planning. So, she's an exemplary teacher and an instructional coach with unique skills that directly benefit our students in Valley Center schools. I think that she is a real asset for us, and we need to find a way to keep her. Thank you.
Kimberly Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen of the board, today I stand before you to defend two very influential colleagues. In an era where authenticity and transparency are valued, we must recognize the importance of genuine connections between educators and their students. It is essential that we approach this matter with empathy and understanding, acknowledging the positive impact openness and honesty can have on a learning environment. As educators, we strive to create a nurturing and inclusive environment that fosters trust and mutual respect. By sharing our personal experiences, we exhibit vulnerability and humanize the learning process. This openness allows students to relate to their teacher on a deeper level, promoting empathy, understanding, and meaningful discussions. The teachers of discussion were trying to dissipate rumors. At the high school, we are motivated by a desire to build rapport with our students and create a safe space for open dialogue. By sharing personal struggles, we aim to inspire and encourage students facing similar challenges in their lives and foster resilience, encouraging students to embrace their own identities. By modeling respectful responses to personal inquiries, educators contribute to the safe space where students feel empowered to ask questions and learn from one another. By punishing an educator for being open and honest, we risk discouraging other educators from forming authentic connections with their students. Students benefit greatly from seeing their teachers as relatable human beings who have experienced hardships and triumphs. In addition, when reprimanding an educator for engaging in respectful, open, and honest dialogue, we risk stifling enthusiasm and passion for teaching on every level, as well as an educator's ability to create a nurturing and inclusive learning environment. The fear of disciplinary action may discourage teachers from bringing their whole selves into the classroom, hindering their ability to connect with students and deliver impactful lessons. It is through empathy, understanding, and support that we can truly empower our educators to make a difference in the lives of those they teach. It is our responsibility as stewards of education to cultivate an environment that encourages free expression, critical thinking, and mutual understanding. By embracing transparency and refusing to indulge in drama-driven demands of the community, we protect the integrity of our educational institutions and uphold the principles of fairness and equality. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the next one is Alea Velasquez.
Sorry. Can you hear me? Okay. Hi, I'm Alea. I'm an incoming senior of the school. I don't do well at public speaking, so I'm not going to make eye contact with anyone. I have not only gotten close to Mr. Kordick and Mrs. Wilson throughout the year, but I also feel as if this discussion here should not be happening. Ms. Wilson is a great ASB teacher, 9-time leader, and softball coach. All in all, she's a great person overall. We are sitting here discussing a personal matter between two teachers that should not be discussed. Not only are there students here, there are other people of the community. When have you ever seen this many students come to a school board meeting in the summer? I was just at the beach. I left the beach to be here. I really do believe that if the decision is made to strip away these things from Ms. Wilson, it is wrong in every way. I will no longer be an ASB, and I'm sure others will not. Overall, I think it's ridiculous. There should always be a separation between church and state, no matter where you are. You do not have to believe and follow with what they do, what they did. You do not have to support their decisions that they made, but you do have to remember that they are great teachers and they are overall the best here. I come to school because they are here, and that's it.
Thank you. D. Frank.
just have a quick statement, and I want to say that these students have been so impressive with their passion. It just really warms my heart. Congratulations. So I don't know the teachers personally, but I've heard through my granddaughter and their friends how much they respect and love these teachers. So my statement is their ability to connect with students on a personal level builds trust and fosters open communication, creating a safe space where students feel comfortable expressing themselves and seeking guidance. And I think especially after the pandemic, so many students are struggling, and to hear the passion that these children feel for these two teachers is very important. Thank you.
Thank you. And Paul Kelly, please.
My name is Paul Kelly. I'm a resident of Valley Center. Good evening, Board of Education. I'm here to support Mr. Kordick. He is the AP US history teacher at Valley Center High School. He has had a great success with his students scoring well on the AP history exam, which, as you know, increases a student's GPA. He creates an amazing learning environment in his classroom, which not only teaches the history curriculum, but requires students to critically think, participate in debate, research facts, and collaborate with colleagues. He has guided and assisted many students with their college applications. With his help, many students have been accepted into colleges, including elite universities, with scholarships to help mitigate the economic burden. He is the recipient of the Above and Beyond Outstanding Teacher of America in 2022. This prestigious award is given to only 4 individuals. He also received the University of Chicago Outstanding Educator Award in 2023. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all of you for being here, sharing your heart and your passion. We thank you for that, and we're going to need to adjourn into closed session.
Yep. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Sorry about the late start. We have a few things to organize. We'll be right with you.
It is 6:07, and welcome to the Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District Board meeting. We have a quorum except for our member Alfonso Kolb Sr. He is missing tonight. We will, we're going to stand and do the Pledge of Allegiance, and we have asked Rob Gilster to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance one more time.
We're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. All right. Boy, I never do. All right. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a couple things to report out from our closed session. In closed session, the board did not unanimously. It approved informal resolution agreement 2022-20223 IA01, and the motion was made by member Beneman and seconded by member Polito, and the vote was Beneman, aye. Caputo, aye. Kolb Sr., absent. Polito, aye. And Stroh, aye. The next one, also in closed session, the board member it's item number OAH, number 2023040921. The motion was made by member Beneman and seconded by member Polito, and the vote was member Beneman, aye. Member Caputo abstained. Member Kolb Sr. was absent. Member Polito, aye. And member Stroh, aye. And we are going to go right into recognitions. This is a great time. Oh, mine's messed up. Okay. Approving of agenda additions, deletions, and corrections. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Member Polito, a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Being none, let's take the vote. Member Beneman?
Aye.
Member Caputo? Aye. Member Kolb Sr. is absent. Member Polito? Aye. And Member Stroh votes aye. Now we get to my most exciting part, and that is the recognitions and presentations. And this is a biliteracy seal graduates. Assistant Superintendent Mark Halewood to present.
Thank you, President Stroh, school board members, Superintendent McCowan, staff members, and guests. Tonight, we would like to take a moment to celebrate our students who, through a great deal of hard work, attained a high level of proficiency in speaking, reading, and writing languages in addition to English, and are recognized as graduates receiving a biliteracy seal. VCPUSD has 30 graduates this year who have earned the biliteracy seal on their transcripts, a seal that is evidence of their matriculation K through 12 in our school district. This educational achievement will benefit them in their future, whatever endeavors they pursue. We are more globally connected than ever, and being biliterate is a huge advantage. In addition to speaking, reading, and writing in a second language, these biliterate students have been immersed in the culture and the global community that surrounds them. The criteria to earn the biliteracy seal shown here shows the academic strength of each of our receiving graduates. It also shows the commitment and value each student and their family choose during their time in our school district. Congratulations to our 17 VCPUS graduates receiving the VCPUSD biliteracy seal. Their names are listed here on the screen and also in tonight's agenda. And if any of them are here, please stand. In addition to our district biliteracy seal, the state of California also provides recognition for those students who meet similar requirements with the addition of achievement on state assessments in English language arts and passage of a world language AP examination with a score of 3 or higher. That's basically what all that says. Congratulations to our 13 graduates receiving the California State Biliteracy Seal, shown here and also listed in your agenda this evening.
Thank you. Nice.
To conclude tonight's recognition, you may have noticed that some of the students who were listed show up more than once. Congratulations to our 5 district graduates who are recipients of both our own district biliteracy seal and the state seal of biliteracy. They are listed here. And then one more congratulations to all 30 you have seen here tonight for their hard work as they have moved through our district. Thank you for this opportunity to present and to recognize these incredible graduates.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I just want to say, this is one more fun congratulations to Aaron Rogers for a brand new baby grandson born like 10 minutes ago. Colin, what's his name again? It's a cool name.
Callum Tyler Coffin. Callum.
New name. Okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. We will move forward now to request to address the board. And we do have a few.
Yes, we have, for the first topic, we have 17.
Okay, for the first topic, we have 17. It's totally allowed 20 minutes, so we have 17. So we're going to extend the time a little so we can get you in and not just give you 1 minute. We're going to make it 2. So we're given, and hopefully we can get that done because we have a couple other speakers as well speaking on other topics. All right, I'm going to read the Brown Act. And members of the public are encouraged to attend the board meeting to address the board concerning any item on the agenda or within the board's jurisdiction. In order to conduct the district's business in an orderly fashion and efficient manner, the board requires that the public presentations to the board comply with the board bylaw 9323. Including the following. Members of the public wishing to address the board must complete a request to address the board card prior to the meeting and give it to the board secretary. The board president will recognize each person who has requested to address the board at the proper time and invite them to speak to from the podium. The speakers must announce their name prior to addressing the board. All comments are limited to 3, but it's going to be 2 minutes, or a total of 20 minutes, but we're doing 35 or something, 34. And the Ralph M. Brown Act limits board trustees. So really know this, it limits us, and staff's ability to respond to any comments on items that are not on the board agenda. The board may not legally take action on any items specifically not listed on the agenda. If there are any concerns regarding specific individuals, it is preferred that the speaker refrain from naming them publicly and respect their privacy. Thank you very much for your cooperation, and we will move forward. And we'll move forward first with Candy Mazzetti, please.
Damon, can you put 34 seconds on, or 34 minutes, excuse me?
On
so
the
we
bottom.
can get that set. Yeah, I didn't want an errant timer to go off.
You're good, Ron. Hi, my name is Candy Mazzetti. I would like to thank the school board, Mr. Hellwood, Mr. McCowan, for allowing me the opportunity to speak in support of Mr. Kordick and Ms. Wilson. Mr. Kordick, I'm so sorry you have to be here. I've been a member of the Valley Center community for 32 years, and I have had my kids in the Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District for 31 years. My son currently teaches for the district, and my daughter will be a senior in the upcoming school year. I have also been a cheer coach for the school on more than one occasion and have had the opportunity to work closely with both of these teachers. So with that said, let's talk about what this meeting is about. The fact is that you have two adult teachers that work together and are now in a relationship. Is that really shocking? And I don't know about you, but my high schooler is pretty damn perceptive. The questions being asked, are the two teachers dating? They come out and say, yes, we are. And the gossip mill goes crazy. Is this shocking? The one thing about living in a small town is that everyone wants to be in everyone's business. The letters start pouring in, the memes get going, and now a relationship with two consenting adults has become front page news. Parents outraged by teacher's affair. Come on, you have two of the best teachers in the district, in the state, in the country, for that matter, and you want to remove one of them from the district? My phone's been ringing off the hook. Kids wanting to know what they can do to keep the teachers in their school. Me being a coach at the school, I've come close to a lot of the kids, and a lot of the kids have been calling me. These are kids that decided on choosing one of these adults for a very prestigious award. VCHS's Andrew Kordick named Carlston Outstanding Teacher of America. There's your front page news. That is a teacher I want to teach my kids. And Miss Wilson has brought so much to the SB program. She works so many hours for the kids, and I watch the kids interact with her, and they love her. In closing, I want to state the facts again. Two consenting adults. Some people say having an affair. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You don't know what was up with their relationships. Really, none of us know. Over 20% of teachers are in relationships with other teachers, and 54% have dated another teacher at one time.
And Candy, we're over about 20 seconds. So
I'm done.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, sorry. We got it.
And Jim Nielsen, please. Thank you.
Well, welcome again. I'm glad to be here. Valley Center, I came in 10 years ago, and my realtor said, what's good about the high school? Or I asked him, what's good about the high school? They said the football team. And coaches over there, and it's a darn good football team and a great program. Then what's even better about the school? The music program. I found out I go to concerts, it's national recognition. We all know how great the program is. Being a coach, as I said before, I pretty much got to lay the land. I thought you were brilliant, what you had to say, by the way. And here's something else. Coach Gilster retired. It wasn't easy replacing Mr. Gilster. It's going to be really hard to have a coach as good as Mr. Gilster. You take Mr. Kordig, not the county teacher of the year, not the regional teacher of the year, but one of the state teachers of the year. That's not easy to replace. Come on, let's be honest. Okay? Next, what are we doing here? Two consenting adults that, according to all testimony, or I shouldn't say that, I'm back up, but two consenting adults, they have every right to date. Should the kids have asked them questions? No. They shouldn't have, in my opinion. Should the administration said something? Yes. Did the newspaper get responses from the district saying, boy, you're out of line, man. We got to have this taken care of. So the bottom line is Mr. Kordig and Miss Wilson should not have any economic things left taken from them. And believe me, if they leave, it'll be a big hole to fill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach Jones? Coach Jones, can you get the podium and turn it so they're
There.
facing the board so that we
Right
can
there.
have direct contact so we can hear it better? Okay, your next
Turn
one.
it this way. Okay, next, sorry about that.
There you go.
Paul Kelly. Next one, Paul Kelly, please.
My name's Paul Kelly. I'm a resident of Valley Center, and this is going to be short and sweet, just to continue on from what I was saying earlier. Mr. Kordick was chosen by administration to be the commencement speaker. He's a valuable asset to the students of Valley Center-Pauma school districts. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Kara Burnington, thank you. Good ride.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Kira Brington. I'm here today to speak on the behalf of both Ms. Wilson and Mr. Kordick. I've been in Mr. Kordick's class for over a year, as well as being a big part of 9 time with Ms. Wilson. And there's kind of a few points I wanted to touch on. Oh, sorry, I get scared. First being that not every teacher gets nominated, let alone wins, the Teachers of America Award. So that is one very prestigious award that is really hard to come by, and he earned it for a reason. On top of being just an amazing teacher, he has also been one of the most caring teachers I've ever come across. I've been moved through multiple districts, and he is by far the most caring I've ever met. I can count on more than one hand the amount of times there's been a student having a hard time in class with some personal issues, and he has been there, and he has been, hey, if you need to step outside, you can do that. If you need anyone to talk to, I'm here. And I think the amount of students that are here tonight is very telling on how many people love Kordick as a teacher and as a person. Same with Miss Wilson. I've seen her bring kids that, as a leader in 9 time, I never thought would even speak a single word, bring them fully out of their shells and immersed into our campus culture. And just to close off, Valley Center has always been a town that values the value of unity and family. So to see parents in the community so outraged over myths and social media has been very disappointing, and I hope the board makes a just decision based off of what they've heard today.
Thank you. Janine Belota. Thank you.
Hi, I am a parent of a graduate of the school district and 2 children who are currently, one in special education, and my daughter is currently going to be a sophomore. I'm here to support Mr. Kordick and Ms. Wilson. First of all, I just want to come up and say I'm really sorry we're here. We shouldn't even be here. I don't even know why this is being discussed. There should have been, I don't think it could have gotten to this point if the administration had just stood behind the teachers and said there was an investigation happening and shut the community down, because there has been so much salacious things said online that is ruining reputations, and administration needs to stand behind their teachers. Has there been an investigation? Because I heard kids stand up and tell you what happened. They were there. Are we listening? Listen to them. They said no. They said this did not happen, yet we continue to let it go. And as a result, we are here, we are listening to stuff online that is complete libel for the district, for these people saying it. And you know what? I just am so disappointed, because I can tell you I've had amazing experience through the school district. I've defended the school district so many times. People look at the scores and say, gosh, this school's kind of crappy. But really, I've got a kid who graduated from UCLA. I've got one. And part of it is because of the education they received here. Because of teachers like Mr. Kordick, who show up for their students continuously on their own time. educating outside of this, building genuine, authentic relationships with their students. And that is built on trust and vulnerability. And if we are going to go ahead and launch a witch hunt anytime a teacher opens up to their student, shame on our community. Shame on all of you guys who are writing against these teachers. It is embarrassing. You can have your values and your morals. We all do. I've been married for, I don't even know, 26 years. I get it. But this is ridiculous and embarrassing. And I'm sorry.
D. Frank, please. D. Frank.
Hi, I'm Dee Frank. I've been in Valley Center over 30 years. My son has gone through school. My granddaughters are in school now, and I hope they get Mr. Kordick or Miss Wilson. But I've heard through their friends what exceptional teachers they are, and they've had nothing but kind words to say. So through their mentorship and guidance, Mr. Kordick and Miss Wilson have helped students develop essential life skills, empowering them to navigate challenges and become well-rounded individuals. Their ability to connect with students on a personal level builds trust, fosters open communication, creating a safe space where students feel comfortable expressing themselves and seeking guidance. And I'd say after the pandemic, students are struggling, and to have teachers or hear about teachers like this really helping them is heartwarming. Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Gaines.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Mary Gaines. I've been a resident of Valley Center for 34 years, and I wish I had had the hope of teachers like these two in the high school, or I would not have pulled my daughter out of the schools, because we got no assistance from the schools when she was going to school, except from one vice principal at the junior high. Everything I've heard about these teachers is wonderful. And it's true, we should not be here. This never should have come this far. The principal and the administration, and certainly you folks on the school board, should have seen what this situation is. This is a minor issue. It's nobody's business what these people do in their private lives, and it should have been handled appropriately. Now our community is opened up to losing good teachers, to not being able to recruit good teachers because the social media impact that this will have. People looking for jobs will look at Valley Center and say, hell no, I won't go. Thank you.
Isabella Boleda.
Hi, I'm Isabella Boleda. Thank you for letting me speak with you guys today. I'm here to speak as a former student, but also a current employee of the district. I have been substitute teaching this past year, and I also helped coach track and field. And I've had the privilege of being Mr. Kordick's student, as well as his colleague now, and Miss Wilson's colleague. And I have witnessed firsthand their remarkable dedication to students' education and their unwavering commitment to personal growth. And I could just go on and on about how many great things these teachers have done, but I think a lot of the students have done so. So for sake of time, I'm gonna cut that part out. But as someone who has been here this past year, I have to say that kids have a lot of questions. They ask so many questions to me as a substitute. I can't even imagine as a teacher being there in the same classroom every day. And often, I didn't even tell a lot of students my last name. And so because I was hesitant because I was worried that, as a young teacher, it could be misconstrued. And it takes a lot of bravery to be open and to be vulnerable. And, I think that's what they were doing, is being open and connecting with their students, and it has been taken to a different level. And I think that there was, it's just disheartening to see how, an incident that happened, in a classroom over a month ago has become a big issue, not because of students themselves. It happened over a month ago, but all of a sudden it's such a big deal because of parents spreading lies and engaging in bullying behavior on social media, which is just horrible to see. I'm proud to be a part of this district, and I really hope that a thorough and truthful investigation happens before making any decisions, which I believe that there will be. But it's like, my mom talked about, it has been really sad to see that there hasn't been a lot of respect and backing of these teachers. And, to conclude, I thank you for paying attention to this matter, extending time, and I have the, confidence that you guys will do what's right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Kaylee Seitz.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Seitz. I used to come here a few years ago. Mr. Kordick, he provided a scholarship for me that got me into college. I happen to be a former foster kid, and he did his best to really teach me, and he did a great job. He believed in me, and he cared. Not a lot of people did that at Valley Center. And Mrs. Wilson was also my basketball coach. She did a great job, and I'm very proud of her. This is ridiculous, and this shouldn't have happened in the first place. This should have been handled before any of this. So I just want to say they're great teachers, and you guys should make up your minds very wisely. Thank you.
Thank you. Lucretia Staley.
Good evening, Honorable Superintendent McCowan, board members and guests. My name is Lucretia Staley. My husband and I raised 7 children whom all attended Valley Center schools. We figured out we had kids in the school district from 2004 to 2021. In light of recent events, I've had discussions with my now adult children about their time as a Jaguar. The older ones agreed that their time at the high school was when it was in its glory days. Ron was at the helm. Admin and teachers were there in their prime. Athletics on the top of their game. Coach Fenton was union president, and there was never a public display of contention or scandal. However, a portion of a letter I'm about to share with you will speak for itself. To whom it may concern, my name is Bernadette Staley. I graduated from Valley Center High School in 2018. Mr. Drew Kordick was my teacher and friend throughout my time at VC, and I carried that friendship with him beyond high school to a degree. I am unbelievably sickened and heartbroken writing this letter after hearing that he involved his students in his drama and his personal life. He is not the man I thought I knew and respected. As an adult who is majoring in child development to become a teacher, I have learned that the relationship that Kordick had with his students was unprofessional. He was more of a friend that would act like a peer rather than being a teacher who strived to be a respectable role model. Kordick has shown through his actions that his moral compass is broken. He did this by inappropriately involving his students in his personal life.
Thank you. Thank you. Madeline Staley.
My name is Madeline Staley. I'm a 2016 VCHS graduate, and I taught chemistry and coached field hockey during the 20 to 21 school year and subbed my master's break from December to January 21 to 22. Drew came to VCHS my senior year of high school and was my AP Econ teacher. He came in and loved our class and formed great relationships with us, even though he only had a year with us. He even gave our commencement speech. I loved having him as a teacher, and I loved working with him. I felt seen and loved. Jenna came to VCHS between me going and teaching here. She loved her students well and big, Students loved her. She gave them a safe space to be themselves. In all honesty, I wanted what Drew and Jenna had with their students. I wanted to love students and to be loved by them, just as they do. However, not anymore. With my students, I have boundaries. With my students, they know I am their teacher and not a friend. With my students, I keep my personal life just that, personal and private. I don't discount any of the good impact Drew and Jenna have had. They have impacted me positively, but involving students in matter too personal is unprofessional. What Drew and Jenna have done in their private, personal life is their own business. However, they crossed every professional boundary there is by sharing with their students their mess. Students have enough going on in their lives that they don't need more trauma, and Drew and Jenna should know that firsthand. Please let me be clear. While I am upset at the moral mishap of the situation, I am more upset that they have decided to negatively involve their students. The students are kids. They deserve to laugh and joke rather than deal with the affairs of adults. I hope that they are restricted in their roles and duties for the safety of their students. It pains me to say that as their coworker, former coworker and teacher right now, but teachers are adults on campus and our first priority is the well-being of students. The situation that Drew and Jenna have forced their students to be in is damaging their well-being and violating their safety. Thank you.
Thank you. Lizzie, is it Kishi?
Hello. I'd like to come up here and say that I was there firsthand in the class that all of this was going down in. Nothing inappropriate happened, and both teachers felt very pressured by a lot of students. And I feel that the situation that all of the drama and everything, it all happened a month after. None of the students cared. Nothing happened until the adults got involved. Cordick and Miss Wilson both gave me a very a place that I felt that I could be very vulnerable and that I could talk to them about my personal issues and feel as though I was safe talking to them and being open and honest and being myself. I have never felt that with any other teacher, and they both give results. Like my brother and his girlfriend both got 5s on their AP US history exams. So they do bring results. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Justin Caputo.
Hi, I'm Justin Caputo, and I'm here to make clear how important Mr. Cordick and Ms. Wilson are, not only to our school, but to our community. How disadvantaged VCH students would become if the actions against these teachers go further than this meeting. No other teachers are as capable or as willing as these two teachers. No other teachers have made as significant an impact on not only me, but all other students attending VCHS. And absolutely no minority of people, no matter how loud, should be able to make a change that would negatively affect a larger majority. Thank you.
Thank you. Alea Vasquez.
Everyone can hear me once again, sorry. Oh God, okay, there's more people this time. I'm not good at this. As I said before, I'm just here to restate it in front of everyone who is here now. These two teachers bring great impact within the school. What is going on here today is ridiculous, as I've said before, and to those who are speaking here against and for, I think it's very brave of everyone. I would also like to emphasize about how many students are here once again on summer break. As I said before, I came from the beach just to be here to speak on their behalf. As a student from both of those teachers, I would not be here for any other teacher than them two. Stripping Miss Wilson of ASB 9-time or softball is detrimental to the school. she's very valuable in everyone's life, including mine. God, this is a lot more people. I'm getting sweaty. Oh, God. I just want to say they're very great teachers no matter what happened. This is their personal life with what happened and what we are speaking about now. The community has made it a bigger deal than what any student, I believe, on campus has thought it would be. I support both of them. You can decide what you want in their decisions, but I do want to say once again, the separation between church and state should be instated everywhere, no matter where you are. That's all.
Thank you. Caitlin Culpepper.
Hello, I'm Caitlin Culpepper. I've been lucky enough to have both Mr. Kordick and Ms. Wilson as teachers. They both care for every individual on this campus like no other. I don't think I've had like a bad day where they didn't notice I was off. They've always checked up on me. And I just think Mr. Kordick and Ms. Wilson have been a huge influence on this campus, as well as me and my growth as a student and as a person. And that said, I think the inappropriate rumors are completely baseless and immature. And I don't think social media should be like affecting, I don't think this whole thing should be happening because of social media, like it's kind of stupid, sorry. And I truly believe they're some of the best teachers in the school district and on our campus, and we would definitely be lost without them. And with that, I just want to thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next speaker is Rob Gilster.
Mauricio, because it's a new topic, it goes to 3 minutes and then back to the 20 minutes.
Thank you.
Kevin Garcia, God, love you. All right, Mr. McCowan, Board of Trustees, your efforts on behalf of Valley Center High Schools and community are very much appreciated. Thank you for allowing me to share a few thoughts tonight. I've had the honor of being a teacher, coach, and ASB director in the Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District and Escondido Union High School District for the past 39 years. It has been with great joy that I have served alongside our school board administrators, staff, and students to provide our community with a great high school. I have lived in Valley Center for close to 50 years, and I have seen the power that our high school has on unifying our community. Valley Center is a very special place with great people and who value public education. As a public school, Valley Center High School brings together students from different socioeconomic backgrounds, different cultures, different faiths, and different life experiences, and encourages them to work together as one. Diversity at Valley Center High School is one of our greatest strengths. JAGS United is an after-school program that we created to host fun events where kids come together and mix with others outside of their peer group. This melting pot is one of the best ways to prepare students for life in the real world. My concern is that division is taking place and students are leaving public schools, including Valley Center High Schools, and enrolling in charter, private, online, and homeschool. Families have many choices in pursuing education these days. So to keep our district strong, we need to make sure that we are the best choice. What can we do to make sure we are the best choice? I'd like to emphasize 3 points that would help attract families and students to attend Valley Center High Schools. Number 1, provide every student and staff member with a clean, safe, structured environment. Students need to be, standards need to be in place and systems need to correct inappropriate behavior, and it must be enforced. Number 2, we must be student-centered. In everything we do, the student has to be our top priority. Our classes, programs, and co-curricular activities need to pursue excellence. Our staff needs to fulfill their responsibilities to be their very best for the Valley Center community. 3, we need to resist curriculum and policies that divide us. Families will seek alternative education that aligns with their values if our public schools contradict those. The Valley Center community at large supports traditional values, so our schools should be a reflection of that. My 4 children and each of their spouses were educated through Valley Center schools. Each of our family members benefited from the school district that was excellent in academics and co-curricular activities. I am grateful for every teacher, administrator, and school board member who worked together to make our schools the best for our kids. We all need to continue to work together to provide schools that will attract families, not turn them away. The strength of our community depends on it. Thank you, school board members and Mr. McCowan, for working so hard to lead, guide, and protect our school district in upholding that standard of excellence. Thank you.
Thank you. Very timely.
Okay, so I need to apologize here. There was two that were out of order, and they're both going back to our teacher issue. So I have number 8 that got skipped and number 17. So we'll go back. Ricky, you are number 8. Well, you were going to be number 8. Sorry.
And I just want to say something about Ricky, because he was near the top, and he said, just put me, because there's so many at the back. So sorry we almost missed you, but thank you, Ricky.
I did ask to be put back because I did want to hear all the voices here. And let me just say, even though I do fully support Cordick and Wilson, I feel so grateful that we have a community here that feels so passionate about its students and about the kids going here that they're willing to come here and try to make this school the best it can be. So I hear you worried, saying that you don't want your kids to go to a place that makes them feel uncomfortable, where inappropriate behavior is occurring. And I can assure you that does not happen in near Cordick or Wilson. They foster a community of engagement. They both have inspired me to be a better person. I walked into Cordick's class thinking this is another AP that will help me in my GPA game to play that rank number 1, go to Harvard with no substance. But he taught me that there's more meaning in life than numbers, than there is statistics. He taught me to put belief behind my actions. And that is why I am here today. That is why I ran for ASB president last year. And now that I've won, I feel a duty to make my school the best it can be. And I don't see that happening without Cordick, who provides our kids with the best shot they got at making a college application that stands out. I don't see this happening without Miss Wilson, who's a phenomenal teacher on campus, who engages with our students, who makes them want to become active parts of the community, who inspires them to be better like they have to me. I don't see that happening without either one of them. So to the board, I urge you to not internally transfer either one of them or take away any of the things that they involve themselves in, as they are some of the greatest assets to our school. I believe that if we, the community at this school, are the teal, then those teachers like Cordick and Wilson are the gold that allow us to shine. That when put together, make the beautiful image of VCHS that we all hold in our hearts. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki.
Okay, and then the number 17th speaker was supposed to be Keel Hasinski. So Keel, are you here still?
Keel?
Okay, thank you.
Good.
Sorry
Thank
about
you.
that.
Sorry.
Thank you. My name's Keel, or Kyle, as most of you know me by.
Sorry.
No worries. I personally have never had Cordick or Wilson as a teacher, but throughout my high school career, they have always been ones to give me open arms and open doors on any matter that I needed. I didn't have many friends when I was starting to come out of high school, and so all of grad night, I spent it with Cordick, his wife, and Chef. So I say this, hold a minute. I say this with my sincerity that they came to us as humans, and we, in turn, were able to see them in a light that made us able to learn and not view them as authoritarian figures that needed to be looked up or respected. They earned our respect by coming to us at our level and being able to teach us at where we needed to be. It's funny how our whole lives we've been told by adults, don't believe everything you read on the internet. But here you are, adults, grabbing and running with misinformation you've been corrected about, claiming you know best depending on your age. We were born into the age of the internet. I knew more about inappropriate topics in middle school before sex ed was even mentioned. Whether we like it or not, kids these days have access to information not normally accessible. Sure, at home you may monitor their online browsing, but this is not the same for everyone. Your kid is sent to a public place where they hear about everything in one way or another. You say the topic of cheating and affairs is inappropriate at a high school level. disregarding that that accusation was incorrect. I urge you to look back at yourself at that age. I've honestly never heard more about broken relationships and cheating than I did in high school, but you claim that is an inappropriate topic for kids in that age range. Seniors and juniors looking to graduate and move into the real world, you say they shouldn't have discussions on different types of relationships, what they may hold, and how things might work out.
Thank you. And Mimi Vaughn, I know your name. Connect. There you go. There you go, Mimi. Thank you. And this is a different topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, go, Mimi.
Sorry about what happened.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so my name is Mimi Vanconet, and I am a community organizer for the county prevention provider. And what we do is alcohol and drugs prevention for teens. And I just wanted to thank the Valley Center-Pauma Unified School Board for making the effort possible to keep the students safe and healthy by using all the resources available that we have and being so open-minded to organize and let us in. You ended the year by hosting Red Ribbon Games, which is all Mr. Gilster helped me to do this. And we hosting 2 invitational, and we had the ASB and leadership class trained with, I work with Gina Wilson, but with this, about having all the ASB leadership class students trained about overdose reversal and the use of naloxone and the suicide prevention certified. They all got that, and that was a really huge thing for your school, having that many students trained, and you also had 126 of your teachers trained about drug overdose reversal, and so thank you for open the door for us, and we also host suicide summit, unfortunately, with the help of Mrs. Staley there, and you also have drug prevention messages and helplines, phone numbers, and a graduation and prom tickets, which that was a really huge, and it's really nice. And other districts are doing that, going to do that on the next coming year. And I just thank you again. You guys rock. You are, I'm glad that you have preventing children to break, because it's, the best thing you can do. So, and Mr. Peterson, I hope you let us in and escondido. And congratulations, Phil.
Oh.
And so thank you so much. And I know that you guys are going to make a good decision about your issue. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mimi. Thank you for your time and effort as well. And with that, we're going to move on, but we want you to know if you could stay just for the beginning, because a lot of people like to leave after this because we get into all the just stuff that board work. But we do have 2 presentations. First off, we have to do one thing, then we'll get into our superintendent, and we're going to do 2 presentations, so you might like to stay for that. And right now, we will move to the consent agenda. Approval of our agenda items, and do I have a motion?
So this month, it was my job to review the purchase orders. I had my questions answered to my satisfaction, and I move that we approve the consent agenda along with the updated personnel listing.
Okay, and a second? I'll second. Okay, and seconded, and we'll go for the vote.
Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye. Member Kolb Sr. is absent. Member Polito? Aye. And Member Stroh votes aye. Moving into the superintendent division with the superintendent report and presentation.
Okay, we would like to, first of all,
Thank you.
Congratulate John Peterson. John Peterson was one of the original people that opened up Valley Center High School, and you know, we see a lot of students here today, and it's great to see you guys here, but this place wouldn't have been possible without a lot of the hard work that John Peterson and a group of teachers, Rob Gilster, just to name a few, that put in. So John has been in our district for 25 years and will be moving on to be the superintendent of the Escondido High School District, where he has served as a board member for 22 years. And before that was a teacher at San Pasqual High School, and before that was a graduate of San Pasqual High School, and before that was a graduate of Del Diaz Dragons, along with myself. We were in the same class. So John Peterson, we just want to congratulate you. Julie's got a certificate for you. You know, you're stepping into a big job, but I know with your experience in the business department, and the one most important thing, John, that I've experienced working with you as a colleague and a friend is you always put students first. And I think the Escondido District's going to be benefit to have you. And to be quite honest with you, there's a lot of things that John does, but the wisdom he brings is one of the things I'm going to miss the most. And I just never thought I'd have an admin team that my friend John wouldn't be on, but I'm glad it's going on to lead the Escondido District, John. So congratulations.
Bittersweet.
John changed my life, if anyone's speaker. John is the reason I read. John, thank you.
We have another administrator leaving us. He is going to go to the greener pastures of being a kindergarten teacher in the bilingual program. And that's Mr. Aaron Rodgers. We've had a lot of fun over the years doing the old, insurance belt commercial for Aaron Rodgers. But really, Aaron came in 2021. He brought some expertise, a legal mind into our HR department, reorganized a lot of the stuff that we do to make things friendlier on our employees when they have to go in and do different things, and has really restructured that department. And Aaron is also a Eagle Scout, and as an Eagle Scout, you always want to leave a place better than you found it. And my friend Aaron, you have left this place better than you found it, and we wish you all the best. And I'm going to come watch you teach kindergarten. We do have just a few more recognitions that are going to be on the screen, and some of you might want to stay because you might see some of your favorite teachers from your elementary schools, and I'll go through this fast and then everybody can go, or you can leave. It's up to you. But we have given out what we call Kudos Awards, which we awarded 6 different awards, and these were actually not we awarded. The staffs at each school voted on which teacher fit this category the best, and then they were given a prize at the end of the year. Next year, we'll have another person name that, and the person that won has to make their trophy personally. So it's kind of a neat little gift. So those of you that might know some of these teachers from Lilac are Kudos winners. Nancy Beck was the Silent Hero Award. Anna Conine was the It Factor. Mackenzie Dotinga was the Extra Mile. Vanessa Norris was Kindness, Service, and Support. Caroline Desmond, Instructional Dynamo. And Christine McNeil was the MVP Award. Now on to our elementary school. We had Armando Reyes Zarat was our silent hero. You can see his award is Superman. We had Rose Pearl Vega as the Kindness, Service, and Support. Sarah Caroline was the Extra Mile winner. Tammy Stryler was the MVP Pro. Suzanne Henderson, Instructional Dynamo. And Sarah Poole was the It Factor. Going on to our Pauma school, Tammy Lenos was the Silent Hero. Denise Cervantes, the Extra Mile. Valerie Wollenberg, Kindness, Support, and Kindness, Service, and Support. And then the It Factor was Libby Nolan. At the primary school, we have our Kindness, Service, and Support winners, Kim Rocha, Jill Keeney, and Mercedes Nichols. The Silent Hero was Christine Stuckey. And our Instructional Dynamo was Susan Berry. Over at the middle school, we had some great winners there too. We have the Silent Hero, Kathleen White, the It Factor, Yvonne Archuleta, the Extra Mile, Shannon Troke and Joey Lira, Kindness, Service, and Support, Stephanie Martinez. Instructional Dynamo, Rosa Ortiz. And the MVP Pro was Judy Baldacini. Here at the high school, we have our Christine Cecil is our Kindness, Service, and Support winner. Mike Cummings was the Silent Hero. Satya Fleck was our It Factor. Andrew Walford was the Extra Mile. And your MVP Pro, Rob Gilster. In Kudos at Oakland VC Prep, we have a Silent Hero, which was Nicole Sandland. So just to let everybody know, as the Silent Hero or these award winners will now go to the district office, and the district office will pick one of these award winners to represent the district in that area, and that'll be announced at the beginning of next school year. So we just want to give a big round of applause to our winners this year for their hard work and dedication. And I truly don't want to keep anybody any longer than what they want to be. So if you feel free to walk out, it's perfectly okay.
We'll take a couple minute break. We'll take a couple minute break, 2-minute break
All right,
here.
we'll take a 2-minute break.
Stop working out.
I don't, no.
Gavel it back.
Gavel it back in.
Just gavel it. We're
Okay.
going to start the meeting.
We're going to start the meeting back Right now, moving on to. You are. I'm moving on.
We're not moving on yet. We're still going to resume the superintendent's report. We do have a special guest that we announced this last month, but it is new to some. So, Sarah Songer, would you please come up? You are our new principal at Pauma, so congratulations.
Sarah Songer. Yeah.
And we have one of our wonderful teachers that works with our. You can just stand right over there. We're going to let Mrs. Martinez give you some flowers there as a congratulations.
There you go. Congratulations. Well done.
First thing you got to learn as a principal is you have to be embarrassed once in a while, and you have to laugh at yourself. So,
a lot of laughing. A lot of laughing.
Okay, we are going to move on. I did miss Jennifer Steinbetz, who was also named the extra mile. So I didn't see that on this slide. We have just a few more slides here. This is our 8th grade promotion. Leonie did a great job with her team there, and we saw a lot of 8th graders eager and excited to come up to the high school and become Jaguars there. This is our VC Prep 8th grade graduation, which was also done very well with Alicia Grafe and her team. And some of these students are going to stay in independent study, but there was quite a few that are looking forward to becoming freshmen here at the high school. Pauma's 8th grade promotion, which was a very nice event, and we had some, I think it was 9 total graduates from Pauma that will be coming up here, and they looked like they were in a hurry to get to the high school also. No offense to Pauma, I'm sure they loved their years there, but after 8, most of them wanted to get to the high school. OG, this is their graduation here. I don't remember the exact number of graduates. It was a very large graduation class, and they do a very special ceremony at the end of their or at the beginning of their graduation where they give a rose to somebody in their life that has changed their lives and helped them to get through a very challenging time of going through high school. And so a lot of them, there's some pictures out in the crowd there where they would go out and give them to an aunt, an uncle, a mom, or a dad. A really sweet part of the ceremony. This is Valley Center High School's class of 2023, a great graduation ceremony Mr. Little and his team put on for us. It was done right on time. That's an inside joke with Mr. Little. But this is a real, it was a great group of kids. These students obviously had to battle through the COVID and everything and came through with shining colors. There is a cute little picture there. You see all the teal gowns. That is actually the top 20 of the incoming class. And they kind of line it up to help celebrate the seniors as they come in. And I think this is the first time I've seen kind of a group picture of them all kind of having fun at the same time there. So the other thing you can see, we do allow our students to decorate their cap. A lot of that goes back to our history with our Native American students, and a lot of them are very beautifully beaded and have a lot of family sentiment to it and a lot of family history, and it's really neat to see. So that was high school graduation. And now we move on to in school for summer. And Stephanie McIntyre did a great job getting this set up along with her team and the teachers that are helping out. You can see some kids having a lot of fun there. We have 255 students that are in our K-5 program. We have 131 students that are in our 6-8 program, and 355 students who are in the 9-12 program. Each one of these programs, the K-8 pretty much is a remedial program, and the high school is a remedial, but it's remedial for credit. So we can get these kids, a lot of them that maybe missed out on some things as we've gone through the COVID experience, get them caught back up to grade so that they'll be on time for graduation. So thanks for the hard work of our teachers and staff for the summer. And now we're going to move on to a presentation. We have worked for the last year. We have had several meetings, which you're going to hear about in a few minutes, to come up with a facilities plan. And in this facilities plan is a guiding document that the board will use over the next several years to look at what improvements and what we need to do for our campuses to make our schools safe and inviting to our students and our staff. With John, I'll send it over to you for any more introduction.
More than a year working to develop, but most intensely this last school year. And we did so with the help of our consultant Cooperative Strategies and Rob Olson in particular. And Mr. Olson is here this evening to present the facilities master plan, how it was developed and what our conclusions are, and to let us know how this can be a guiding document for us to help us make prioritized decisions over how we're going to modernize our facilities over the next several years. So I'll turn it over to you.
Great. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, John. Thank you, board, for the opportunity to come and do this work with you. Exactly. I've been working with the district now for it's almost 7 months, and it's been fantastic. Thank you for the opportunity, too, to just provide a window into the facilities here at Valley Center-Pauma so that, as mentioned, some really good decisions can be made about what's best for kids in terms of how these facilities might support not only the programming but also the community as well. So with that being said, we're going to move ahead. Got some different items that we want to walk through and talk through as well. General overview, you can see from here that, again, this started, I don't expect anybody to be able to read that, by the way, but the first block up there started back on December 7th with a Futures Conference, and here we are today with the final presentation on June 22nd. The Futures Conference is kind of where it all began. Back in December, we had a meeting at Valley Center Elementary School involving district staff, the community, and others. It was just an amazing day. It was an all-day. We focused in on looking at the learning that's happening at Valley Center-Pauma. We also looked at how do we engage the community and have them involved in the process. And lastly, how is it that our facilities can support programs and children and staff moving through this process. So it was a great opportunity to do some visioning, and that visioning really came through and came to light as we start looking at the options and recommendations, as you will see. The steering committee, I want to thank Julie and Paul for being a part of that, representing the board. That was a fantastic opportunity to, again, work with some district leadership, community, district staff, and really ended up being a really good opportunity. They met 4 times throughout this process, starting in January, and then met monthly. So it ended up being a really good opportunity for the steering committee, for this group of people to probably know more about this district and its facilities and some of the data points than anybody else might. So we'll talk about how their role might become very, very important moving forward for the district. And what you'll see there is that the board really, or excuse me, that the steering committee really keyed in on some of the renovation and modernization of facilities that are needing for today's teaching and learning process, as well as making some good long-term investments that are going to be beneficial to the district and the community for the long run, as well as, lastly there, how is it we best communicate and educate the community in terms of those needs and implementing this process. The steering committee's role is an advisory role. So they were, again, introduced with a lot of different information and then provided an opportunity to come up with some options and recommendations, which you'll see here in a minute, and then taking those to district leadership and ultimately to the board for a final decision. So the first thing we want to do is take a look at some of the facility needs within the district. You'll notice that here on this sheet there's listed the condition of the different schools and their needs that are looked at in the chart that's there. But most importantly, what we're going to identify is the fact that there's never, this is a national trend, if you will. There's not enough money to go around, if you will, in order to meet all of those needs. So what happens on an annual basis is that you have deferred maintenance. And deferred maintenance gets built up over the years in terms of then what you end up with is some big projects that need to be taken a look at, and how best do we tackle those big projects. You can see here by the pie graph the different areas, if you will, or the different systems that are needing the most need. That largest green space up there is some of the roofing needs throughout the district. The other larger section of that pie graph, if you will, is looking at interior and exterior windows And then the other couple big ones that are there are some interior structures as well as the furniture, fixtures, and equipment in the district. Here you'll see, this is a data summary that we looked at with this steering committee. It provides a little bit of everything on this particular sheet. You'll see that here you'll have the age of the facilities, the condition, in terms of where are the needs at that might need to be taken care of, enrollments both historically and projected, and then looking at also what are some of the capacity and utilization items that also occur within the district. Meaning, is there space that we can make some adjustments in different places and that students can do their teaching and teachers do their teaching, students do their learning in a more permanent space versus some of the portables. So in summary, when we take a look at all of that data, the newest school that's in the district is 20 years old. That's Lilac School. And the average of all the other buildings is 43 years old. Enrollment has a trend that continues to decrease. There is some development happening within the district. What we see with that development is just offsetting the decrease happening as fast so that it may not decrease quite as fast as it could potentially. There's about $39 million in deferred maintenance that needs to occur throughout the district. And lastly, there is some capacity space that maybe we could take a look at. How do we best use some of that capacity to benefit the teachers and staff? This slide takes a look at how are the portables being used throughout the district. So there are 74 portables throughout the district. Of those, 58 of them are sitting on school sites throughout the district. 90% of those 58 portables are being used by students some way or another. The other 10% are being used for storages or office space. And of those portables, the district also worked really hard in identifying an inventory of those. So many of those portables, if not all, are beyond their useful life throughout the district. So after the steering committee had an opportunity to see all the data points, a lot of the ones that I just showed you right there, we took a deep dive into what some of those data points meant. We gave them the opportunity to then come up with some possible options. And I'm going to take a side note here. The committee, the district leadership did a really, really awesome job of moving these meetings for the steering committee to different sites throughout the district so that those on the committee could see the different buildings, the different styles of buildings, maybe some of the different needs that the buildings have. So that was a really, really good and strategic way to host those steering committee meetings. So at this particular meeting, the charge was really to say, everything is on the table. Don't let anything hold you back. What is all the things that you could potentially come up with that might be an option to take a look at as part of this facility master plan? And as you can see, a great list came out of that with all kinds of different things, from what could be renovations, could be rebuilds, additions, looking at program needs, all kinds of different things came out of it. So that was a really, really great opportunity for the steering committee. From there, we took a look at what are some of the key themes that came out of those option possibilities. And what we took a look at there, again, mentioning we need to kind of catch up on some of that deferred maintenance. Again, as I mentioned, there's $39 million. Some of those, as you might imagine, when you take a look at all of the facilities that you have, and you start looking at some of those systems, whether it be roofing, or whether it be HVAC systems or windows, whatever it might be, those can add up really, really quickly throughout the district. Another one was expanding the transitional kindergarten program. And right now, this past year, I believe there was 83 transitional kindergarten students. As part of the enrollment projection that we as Cooperative Strategies did for the district, we anticipate and project in 4 years there'll be 225 transitional kindergarten students, and I would anticipate that that number will continue to grow past that next 4 years. So what does that mean? What it means is we need to find a space and be prepared for them when they come and as that number continues to grow throughout the next few years. Modernization, so again, looking at safety, STEM, and also some of the CTE programming. As mentioned before, with the buildings being an average age of 43 years, some of them were built differently and for different purposes than what the needs are today. So again, that type of modernization is spread throughout and around the district. And then as mentioned, the portables, and again, trying to find a way that we can maybe find some permanent space for what some of those portables currently are being used for throughout the district. So moving from those options as well as some of the common themes that occurred, we came up with some recommendations, and we looked at these in two different categories. The first set of recommendations is looking at some short-term needs. What needs to occur maybe in the next 1 to 3 years? Well, these are not prioritized in any way. We found that from the steering committee, then vetting those with the district leadership and also with the school board, is that we find that there's no real prioritization possibly to these, but they're just needs that need to occur. So we're looking at 3 different ways here: safety, security enhancements at all campuses, the expansion of transitional kindergarten, and then reconfiguring 6th grade back to the elementary level. And underneath each one of these are just key items that can take place to achieve that recommendation, and also gave an opportunity to have kind of a options and a roadmap to achieve these different recommendations. The other set of recommendations we had were some additional needs, so looking at those over the next 1 to 10 years. So after, again, collecting input from district staff, the Board of Trustees, and the community, these different additional needs are then prioritized on this list, with the top 4 coming back from those groups as addressing the identified deficiencies at Pauma School, aligning the middle school and high school CTE programs, upgrading the technology infrastructure throughout the district, and renovating and modernizing the current Valley Center Primary and Valley Center Elementary. So again, all those groups that we asked for input from, those were their top 4 as we move forward. Looking at cost estimates. So strategically, we put together these cost estimates and broke them apart in 2 ways. So this first cost estimates is based on the short-term needs, the 3 big categories that we looked at. You'll notice as you get a chance to look at this a little bit closer, within each one of these recommendations, there are options built in, so that when the board goes to make a decision or we want to try to implement these items, depending on funding sources, depending on time, all of those things, there's options built in here so that a good decision can be made based upon the information and what needs to be accomplished. The second chart shows the cost estimates to the additional needs. Some of these do not have costs associated with them because some of them are issues that may or may not cost any money, or there's some research that needs to go into them before a good decision can be made. A couple of them have an appendix noted there, and that will be included in the final report to that appendix. And lastly, what we want to do is take a look at some recommending financing options. Again, this is not an exhaustive list, and we're not the financing professionals. What we are is planning professionals, and then giving some feedback and some possible ideas of how these could be funded. One of them is just identifying what are some of the local options that are right here within Valley Center to achieve these. Another one is to explore some of the state and federal school construction and program grants for capital projects. And lastly, advocating for additional funding options through the state legislature. State legislature, I believe, is working right now on a statewide bond to where a district can apply for some matching funds that go not only to, I believe, kindergarten and transitional kindergarten facilities, but also looking at the modernization of some of your existing facilities as well. And I know some of that work has been done thanks to the work that John has put into that, and they have some results back. So I think that, again, there's a pathway that's been identified, and the district continues to work hard to identify where those might be found. So what are some of the next steps now that today is over? We've spent 7 months really intensely putting this all together for the district. We look at just some potential steps moving forward. The first box there to the left indicates that the school board approves the plan that's in front of them. The next one is taking a look at what are any policy and funding implications for some of the projects that are faced in front of them, and do any policy changes need to occur or just be reviewed to make sure that they're up to date. Establishing a school facilities planning committee, I'll mention that here in a minute as moving forward. Doing a potential community meeting where we can, again, start to take a look at how do we educate, how do we provide information, and be able to give them facts and information they need to make a good decision about moving forward and implementing this plan into the future. And lastly, taking this facility master plan and folding it into the comprehensive improvement planning and budgeting process. So down below, I told you I would get back to what does that mean for a facility master plan committee. I always talk about, and this is the bottom half of this particular box here, but what is it, don't lose the momentum that's started right now, and how do we keep the plan fresh, and how do we keep it moving and not let it just become another binder or another document on our computer, but how do we keep it alive and moving forward? And I think one of the big decisions that helps with that is identifying, again, taking the work the steering committee did throughout this process, and again, keeping them involved in how it is that we might be able to keep the plan moving forward then, so that it doesn't become stale or stagnant and just sit within the district itself. And up above is just continuing to keep a website or something so there's a high level of transparency throughout the process, whether it's the projects they're doing, how they're funding, who's involved, how can they get involved, again, a number of things that are just listed there. But I think as a school board, it's a place to start just to take a look at this and say, okay, what fits us, what doesn't, what else can we do? Maybe we have some other things in place as well. Okay, and with that, one of my favorite pictures of this district, by the way. It's just a really, really cool picture. I'm glad you guys use it on your website. But again, I want to say thanks to the district, everybody I've had a chance to work with. And again, I mentioned it to, I think I sent an email back to Ron and John after that initial Futures Conference. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be an awesome, awesome project, just because of the professionalism, the great people that we had contribute and that were engaged in that process. We really, truly got a feel for not only who the district is now, but where the district's going. So you should all be very, very proud of the work that this district does and what was put into this facility master plan. And I'm going to hate to no longer get to come back once a month and work with all of you. And yes, San Diego is beautiful. I get it. I'm from Iowa, so San Diego is very beautiful compared to Iowa. But on the same hand, it's the people that I've gotten to work with here. And I get to work with a lot of different school districts from the East Coast to the West Coast. And I will tell you that you guys are special, and it's a cool place to work. So thank you for letting me do this and for the opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you for your great.
Rob, before you sit down, do we have any questions from the board members?
Oh, yes, very good. Any questions?
The board's it's kind of seen this somewhat before
yes.
as it's been developed.
Good job.
So.
Yeah, part of our process is we've provided, I think, 3 opportunities, maybe 2 opportunities, 2 or 3 opportunities for the board to not only get an update on how this process is moving forward and how it's progressing, but also to gain their input throughout. So So for me to present this to them tonight is not the first time they're seeing this, by the way. They've seen it multiple times. We strive to think that we provide a lot of transparency throughout our process. We have a project website that's currently part of the Valley Center-Pauma website. So if you go on to the menu on your website, towards the bottom on the left-hand side, there's a facilities master plan website right there. And what you'll find there is all of our presentations, everything that we've done throughout this entire process. Again, it's transparent. It's what we want the community to know. But again, we, that's just part of what we strive to do, is just keep it clear, open, and honest to everybody. So yes, so not the first time the board has seen this information. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
anything
your
else?
time. Lots
Yes,
of time
absolutely.
and direction there. That was great.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
So just one thing before we take the vote, we believe Valley Center is the best place to live and grow, and our schools. But one of the things we're also known for very well is our avocados. So
Yes.
Nancy's husband picked a couple dozen avocados for you. They're at the back there on your way out. They do ship very well in your luggage.
Okay,
And
that's good to know.
I've shipped actually 49 pounds one time in one thing. But needless to say, take those with you, and hopefully you and your wife will enjoy those avocados.
We will definitely do that. Thank you. We get ours from the grocery store, which we know is not as fresh as we'd like them.
This will be a different experience.
Yes, I can only imagine. So
Thank you for
thank
your
you
hard
again,
work,
everybody.
Rob.
Appreciate it very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Nice job. Thank you. Thanks so much. All right, we'll move forward on this. Do I have a motion?
So just to clarify, so making a motion, we're not saying we are doing all this. We're saying
Approving it.
we are approving and saying we're going to keep going with the process?
Correct.
Okay. I will make a motion.
Okay, good question.
I'll second.
Okay, and a second from Mike Caputo. Any discussion further? Okay, let's go for the vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Caputo? Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito? And Member Stroh votes aye. Moving on to resolution number 2022-2023-25 in support of Valley Center Fire Protection. Do I have a motion?
I will so move.
Okay, and a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? I think it's great.
Yeah,
Thing.
that's what we heard presented last
Definitely.
month, yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys had asked for us to bring a resolution back. This resolution is real close to what the water district also, but it's just in support of our firefighters.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. All right, and let's take the vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo? Aye. Member Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito? Aye. And Member Stroh votes aye. The board will conduct its first reading of the following new revised board policies and administrative regulations. These will be brought back to the board for approval at the August 10th, 2023 meeting. Revised board policy 5141-33, students head lice policy updated to align with current CDC recommendations. Revised board policy 5030, students wellness policy updated to comply with the current regulations. Revised policy 6171, instruction Title I programs policy updated to align with the current law. Revised board policy and AR 3350, business and non-negotiable operations travel expenses, and updated to align with the current regulations and laws. New board policy 5131-8, students' mobile communication devices, new policy to align with the current code and update current guidance. The board will conduct a second reading of the following revised board policy and administrative regulations. Revised AR 6173 and revised BP 6173. Do I have a motion?
Also move.
And a second? I'll second. Any discussion? And let's take the vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Caputo?
Aye.
Kolb Senior is absent. Polito? Aye. Strove votes aye. Educational Services. VCPUSD Federal Addendum for 2022-2023 school year. Do I have a motion?
Also move.
A second?
Aye.
And is there any discussion on this? No? Being none. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Caputo?
Aye.
Kolb Senior is absent. Polito? Aye. And Strove votes aye. VCPUSD Local Performance Indicators 2022-2023, information only. C, 2021-2024 LCAP Local Control Accountability Plan. A public hearing on this item was conducted Monday, June 19th, 2023. Do I have a motion?
I will so move.
And a second? I'll second. And any discussion? Let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Member Cole Senior is absent. Member Polito? Aye. And Member Strove votes aye. Math Curriculum Review and Pilot K-8 information.
Mark, there's if you need
There is no presentation, so the information is listed in the agenda.
Okay.
I can give a very brief overview if you'd like. So no, that's okay. So our district will be opening a process to review and develop a new pilot math curriculum for grades TK through 8, and that review and development of the pilot process it will be for the coming 23-24 school year. The decision to do this is being based on some different factors that align with our commitment to making sure we're providing the best possible education for our students and really focusing on the needs also of our staff throughout the district in math instruction. Some of the items that we will be looking at: connections to newer math frameworks, usability and consistency of common assessments, making sure that the curricula that we're looking at is meeting the needs of all students in our district and families, and then really looking at professional development and ongoing support for our teachers as we look at what that curriculum could look like moving forward. So currently the first step was a meeting with selections of teachers from throughout our district, grades TK through 8, and then also a high school representative. And they kind of talked about the process, what are some of the items that we want to look at, the vision for what we're going to be doing with math in our district. And then they will meet early in the fall and actually start looking at some curriculum choices, narrow that down, and then eventually that will lead to a report back to the board on 2 curriculums that'll be piloted in classrooms TK through 8 in our district. One of the things that we do have, similar to the facilities process, this will be a public process. So any presentation, any items, all of those things will be available for the public through our district website, and we'll have kind of a timeline of what's taking place, anytime that information is coming to the board, so if the public has input, and just kind of an overview of all the things that we'll be doing.
Good, so it'll be all transparent.
All transparent, yes.
Okay, great, great. Okay, and science curriculum review and pilot K through 12, NGSS alignment information. Oh, yes. This was science curriculum adoption K through 5. Do I have a motion?
I will so move.
And a second?
I'll second.
And any discussion on that?
No, I looked through the curriculum and it looks really good. I'm really excited.
Yeah, looks good. All right, let's take a vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito? Aye. And Member Strove votes aye. Business Division, approval of the 2023-24 district budget. A public hearing was held on this item on Monday, June 19th, 2023. Do I have a motion? So moved. Second?
I'll second.
And any discussion? Thank you for the great presentation. It was great, clear. Thank you. Let's vote.
Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo? Aye. Member Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito? Aye. And Member Stroh votes aye. Approval of Resolution 2022-2023-16, Educational Protection Account. This is an annual resolution. Do I have a motion?
Also move.
Second?
I'll second.
And any discussion on this? No?
No.
Let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito? Aye. Member Stroh votes aye. Approval of Resolution 2022-2023-18 and 2023-19 and 2022-2023-20 of the Governing Board acting as the legislative body for the CFD number 19-1, CFD number 22003-1, and CFD number 2019-1 to establish annual special taxes. These are annual resolutions. Do I have a motion?
Also move.
And a second? And any discussion?
Nope.
Let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Caputo?
Aye.
Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito? Member Stroh votes aye. Now, Human Resource Division. Now you have.
So Amanda is going to address the board at the very beginning.
Okay. So Amanda Wolford will address our board. Thank you.
Nobody needs to get uncomfortable in their seat. I think people take a deep breath when I come up here. I wanted to take the opportunity to honor and thank one person who sits up here and has spent countless hours with me over the past few years. He is the epitome of a servant leader. At the beginning of this school year, we sat in the high school gym and listened to the superintendent speak about servant leadership and the NCO creed. And one of the slides, it said, a servant leader focuses primarily on the growth and well-being of people and the communities to which they belong. The servant leader shares power and puts the needs of others first. I will earn their respect and confidence as well as that of my soldiers. And in the Leadership Academy, we read a book on servant leadership, and a few things stood out to me. One of the most profound leadership skills in any organization is the ability to listen. My mentor, Major General Perry Smith, U.S. Air Force retired, calls it squinting with your ears. True leadership comes to life when mutual trust exists between leaders and followers. Genuine trust happens when soldiers train, sweat, bleed, and sacrifice together in preparation. Oh, good, it didn't even start. Let's try to see where I was at. Sorry. In preparation for the ultimate test of combat. They are honest with each other. They hold each other accountable. There is an element of love and support that develops as soldiers of all ranks live life together. This unique esprit de corps is the special sauce that really separates great teams from good teams. The best leaders I've known have held trust as their highest priority. Aaron, from the moment you came to Valley Center, you gave new life. You brought about a relationship of trust and openness and mutual respect. And I will be forever indebted to you for what you have done for this district and for me. We went to the Leadership Labor Management Initiative, and that had been a long time coming, and you pushed and you worked. You have always worked to advance others. a true servant leader. And I'm really sad to see you go. I've held it together. Really sad to see you go, but I'm glad you moved back to our side from the dark side. So thank you very much.
Thank you, well said. He will definitely be missed. Okay, where are we now? Oh, right here, we're at the very top, and there's a lot going on here. Okay, so here we are with resolution regarding teaching assignments for the 2023-2024 school year. Robin Worley, do I have a motion?
Also move.
A second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Let's vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo, Member Kolb Senior, oh, Member Caputo, sorry. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Woo. Member Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito, I'll get through this. Member Stroh votes aye. Resolution regarding teaching assignments for the 2023-2024 school year. Laura Lee Beck, do I have a motion? And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? We'll vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito? Aye. And Member Stroh votes aye. Resolution regarding teaching assignment for the 2023-2024 school year. Yvonne Archuleta, do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Being none, Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito? And Stroh votes aye. Resolution regarding teaching assignments for the 2023-2024 school year. Satya Fleck, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito? Member Stroh votes aye. Renew administrative contracts. Do I have a motion?
Wait, you missed,
Wait.
E.
I missed, whoops. Right here, provisional internship permit request. Marina Sato and special ed teacher for VCHS grades 9 through 12. Do I have a motion? And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Being none, Member Benjamin.
Aye.
Member Caputo.
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito. And Member Stroh votes aye. Now, renew administrative contracts. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito? Member Stroh votes aye. TK to 12, English Language Department. Teacher on special assignment, job description. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito? And Member Stroh votes aye. Intervention teacher on special assignment, job description. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
And any discussion? Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito? Member Stroh votes aye. Counselor, elementary school, job description. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito? And Member Stroh votes aye. Speech language pathologist, job description. Do I have a motion? So moved. Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Being none, Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo?
Aye.
Member Kolb Senior is absent. Member Polito? Member Stroh votes aye. And here we are, already. Wake up out there. It is advanced planning. Our next regular board meeting will be Thursday, August 10th, 2023. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
So,
Oh, no, there will be no report out, and we are going to move to finish our closed session. So- What? We're going to end the recording now, because we'll come out and we'll finish adjourning then, but we're going back into closed session. So I will gavel out for that. Thank you so much for being here, your time, your patience, and